Hello everyone, Chris and Gav here, Retro Heads, back for another video, and this time it's not retro related or maybe even game related, it's more just YouTube related, and a topic that's just grabbed my attention on a Facebook page, and I asked Gav about it, and we thought we'd just do a video. And it's basically about different ways of making money through YouTube, and is it classed as e-begging? Is it the right thing to do, wrong thing to do? And just, I think we're just going to go through all different ways of making money, and just I want to Gav's opinions on it because I know what I feel about it, and we generally have this discussion. Like we generally have discussions outside of YouTube. I thought we'd just record them and see what people think. What's your overall thoughts on that, Gav, making money on YouTube and stuff? I'll get an overview of it before we start.
My overview on a whole, you mean?
Yeah. Well,
generally.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I've got no objections to it at all. I don't necessarily agree with, like you say, if somebody's begging for Patreon and all that, don't sponsor them if you don't want to. You know, it's obviously you like them if you're watching the video. So, I don't quite get what the problem is. Yeah. To be honest, none of them really bother us, but if I had to say one that annoyed us the most out of all of them, it would probably just be ads in the middle of videos, especially more than one. You can live with one in the middle of a half-hour video or something like that, especially if it's skippable.
Right. We'll get that in a second because I'll jump that, because obviously I'm going through kind of the three different main ways I know of making money on YouTube, and we'll talk about each one. But like you say, my main thing was that someone mentioned in the Facebook group that they think it's ridiculous how people can ask for people e-begging, basically how it's something that's supposed to be a hobby of theirs, and how can they can ask people for money when they should be funding themselves for a hobby. But a lot of arguments were that these people were wanting to make it more than a hobby, and if they can make money off something they've done, why not? And this guy kept pushing forward, right? If it's a hobby, but these people maybe want to do it, they maybe want to try and do it more than a hobby.
Hobbies are the videos anyway.
What was that, Gav?
People make money off hobbies.
Of course they do.
It's not like a hobby's got to be something that you pay for. You could get paid for doing your hobby.
Yeah,
you know,
of course you enjoy doing it. Doesn't mean you can make money. You can't not make money off it.
Yeah, anyway. I mean, to be honest, people who say that YouTube should be a hobby, if they're doing good and they enjoy it and all that, to me, YouTube's sort of like, it's not far off telly, really, is it?
No, I know.
It's a lot less, and it's a lot less glamorous and all that, and a lot more personal. I think it's kind of like what was it the Americans had, where they're just like Wayne's World was one of them type of shows, you know.
Yeah, like, it's like
YouTube on
cable TV
access or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To me, it's kind of like that, except worldwide, you know, on the internet. So, like I said before, I don't have any problems with anyone getting any money off it at all. Begging for the Patreon and stuff like that, yeah, it's annoying, but just don't do it. You know, I'm not contra anyone. I don't have a Patreon.
Well,
you know,
go back to your ads first of all. When you first enter, that's the first bit we'll talk about. Obviously, the main way everyone thinks about straight away how to make money is by putting ads in videos. And of course, that used to be 100 subscribers and whatever. So, and if you had 100 subscribers, you could advertise. But now it's been changed to 1,000 subscribers. And is it 4,000 hours of watch time or something like that?
So many views, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
I think it's 10,000 to be honest over the year, or something along them lines. Right. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, whatever. It's we don't qualify, so obviously, but the thing is, if we do qualify, why not turn it on? You know what I mean? And anyone else who does it, if you make that much of a small amount from ads anywhere, why not? If you can do it, you hear people say, "Oh, I'm not big enough yet. I'm not big enough yet." Why not? Just if you can do it, like you said, yeah, it's a hobby, but if you can make a couple of quid and you're off a hobby, why not? Don't you think?
Well, it just helps as well, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you like £60, what the minimum you can take out 60 quid in this.
I'm sure it used to be, yeah, when it was like on 100.
Yeah.
I think we
Well,
got
if
about
you're getting
£9 or
£60,
something.
woo, like I said though, if you
Ching
get
ching.
£60 every, even if it's every 6 months or every year or something like that, so be it. It gets you
Yeah.
a game. You can buy a game with that and then review it, or whatever your hobby is. You know,
It,
if your hobby's reviewing theatre or going to these concerts and everything, you can get a couple of tickets for that. You know,
yeah.
it's. I mean,
Don't.
I can't see any. Don't think many people will get ad revenue when it's like such a little amount type thing,
Oh no.
and
Well,
just like,
that's it. When you're
well,
such, if you're
an
small
early
viewers
birthday.
and that, people say, well, what's the point? Yeah, you'll get that little, but if it builds up over a year and you get a payment out once a year of £60, why not? The only trouble for it
If you
is
do,
when someone does it and you put a million adverts in the programs. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They'll have a 10-minute video with like 4 adverts in every 5 minutes or something, just trying to get as much money as you can. And that's the thing. What it's a bit disappointing, all I think, and all where it is. It's such a small channel. I think most videos you expect one at the beginning
yeah,
and you expect one in the middle. That's just expected nowadays. So, but if you start getting more than
yeah.
that, and I'll tell you what I
Well,
like.
to be honest,
I know you don't watch
it's
them.
not that they've put them in. It's the fact that I have to stop watching the video I'm watching
Yeah,
and wait for either an advert to finish or wait for 10 seconds before I can press the skip button. That's the annoying part for me.
yeah.
It's not the fact that somebody put 10 adverts in a 10-minute video. It's that it breaks my watching of a video.
Well,
And chances are I'm going to watch the next one because
yeah.
of it.
Well,
If,
what
if,
gets me
if you've
is
been...
if you're halfway through a sentence and all of a sudden an advert starts. That's what drives me crazy. At least there's people called the Game Chasers, and I know he actually makes a point of it, like, and he does a TV show style, so he'll have like 10 minutes of program, and then he'll have like as if it's an ad break, and he actually has the Game Chasers logo flash over the screen, then the ad will roll, because you can place where you want the adverts in a video. You just don't
Yeah.
click adverts, you can click exactly where you want it. And he said
It's
numerous
a lot
times,
more editing that though, isn't it, to
why
do
not
that?
really? It's just in the middle of a video, do a logo screen. Why are you expecting just chucking some? You do this video and just chuck an advert in there, and all of a sudden it's like kind of halfway through it, then the advert broke, and then it starts up again, and you lose traction. I think at least, especially I know if you're just making a little video, like if we did something like this and you just chuck a couple in, but if you're making like the high production values that they do, with these big American channels and stuff, you do appreciate it when you do make it a bit more TV show style with the ad breaks in certain positions, just so it doesn't
Yeah.
block the floor. So what I mean, so you see one segment and you have an ad break, and the next segment.
Right. Yeah, about these American big production things. To be honest, like, I think the revenue they get off YouTube's good because it keeps them doing it. I mean, I like the Game Sack.
Yeah.
I love Game Sack, and I'd say if it wasn't for the money they were getting, I mean, God knows how much they do get. I don't think they have a Patreon or anything like that. They might do. I don't know. I think they do actually. Now I've said that, but like, I enjoy watching their videos, and if they stop making them because like they've made all the ideas they wanted to, and there's no incentive for them to make them, even if it's like you're getting a couple £100 a month or like dollars a month or whatever, it still gives them that bit of incentive to carry on, and it gives me something to watch, you know. So I think that's a good thing about people getting paid to make them. It's like I said before, obviously people's watching them, otherwise they wouldn't be complaining about people
Yeah.
e-begging,
Like,
you know.
again, the e-begging, you mentioned Patreon, that's the next bit of way you can make money on YouTube, and obviously that's the next bit of Patreon. I mean, again, like saying we don't have a Patreon, but again, but for me, it's not because of that I don't think that we shouldn't have one, because we're a small channel. I just say Patreon it's for me, I say it's a subscription service. And if you have a Patreon set up, you have to give back to the viewers, so you have different tiers of donate money, so you can donate £1, £5, £10 every month, and the more you donate, the better tier you get.
It's not like the Patreon just gets early access to a video or something like that. They'll chat with the people that they're sponsoring and everything, don't they? They have extra little perks and all that.
Oh yeah,
like Q&A session.
But the way Patreon works is maybe for £1 you'll get early access to a post on my Patreon, or for £5 I'll give you an early access to my video and your name at the end, or for £10 I'll maybe even give you like a shout out. But also you'll do stuff like for all patrons, maybe once a month you'll have a private Skype call with all your viewers, or you'll do a private live stream. And so these people invest in you as a person as well as a channel, and you have to give them perks back. And
Yeah.
I don't think, and if you're not consistent, I think you have to have consistency on a channel. If you're putting content out every week, and you're constantly doing stuff, and you're constantly interacting with your viewers, and you're giving them perks behind the scenes, they're not just giving you money for nothing. They're subscribing to you as a person. You've got to give them a service back. You can't just expect to do YouTube videos. Like, that's how Patreon works. You're giving them more. And again,
Yeah,
it's another thing. It doesn't matter if you have 20 subscribers or 20,000 subscribers. You could have the best 20 subscribers in the world, and each one of those people might give you money on Patreon. And you can make more money from those 20 people than someone with 20,000 subscribers does, because they might only have 10 people that want to do it. You've got to interact with your viewers to set up a Patreon. You can't just set one up and expect people to give you money. You've got to be interacting with your viewers, give them nice little perks, and give them out of YouTube interaction. Like saying Discord servers is a fantastic thing for Patreon, because you give people special roles or special channels when you can talk to them, private streams, private Skype calls. You know what I mean? And I've got no problem at all whatsoever with Patreon if people do it right. I really don't. I think it's a fantastic way, actually. And like you're saying, and people give you money, and it's incentive and all, because of these people, like your hardcore fans kind of things, and they want to interact with you and get to know you more. And basically, they want to pay you for their own content. They're happy with what you're making, and they think, you know what, I want to support this person somehow. I really love his content. And then they go up their way. Yes, people advertise Patreon, but how else are people going to know you've got it if you don't do that? You're not asking for people, you're not saying, please give me money. You're just saying, listen, I've got this thing set up. If you would like to support me, go there and have a look. And if you like, you can then donate.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Like, I mean, like I said, I've got no qualms about any kind of money given type thing on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think the worst thing is how YouTube sort of made it harder to get money. I mean, we got nothing, and I wouldn't expect us to get anything, to be fair.
No,
but I just think the constantly moving the ball.
Well, I say we do it for a laugh and for fun, but if we had a chance of making money, I would.
Oh, why not?
And like you're saying, we have got a Patreon. That's not because we're not big enough, and I don't think there's a size to start a Patreon. It's because we're just not consistent enough to give back to the viewer for what they're giving us.
Oh yeah.
If we were more consistent, we have more to offer. At the moment, we're just two mates who like to talk games and play games and do whatever. You know what I mean? If we don't get us wrong, I think what people say is you're not big enough.
Bigger channels, because they're like, especially the ones who do it full time, because they have to make it work, don't they? They have to time and effort into it, so they do have the time for Patreon and all these extras that they do, talk to the fans and answer questions, and just on Twitch or YouTube or what was the other one you said? Discord.
Yeah. Just
on them, that kind of stuff all the time, you know. We don't have time for that.
Don't get us wrong, the bigger your channel grows, I suppose more incentive we will have to do more consistent and more high-end content and actually to give back to the viewer, if you know what I mean. I suppose it is a double-edged sword, where you don't think you're big enough to have a Patreon, yet I think once you do get big enough to think you do have one, that's when you think you can give back to the viewers, you know what I mean. It's kind of, like you say, now, I've got no qualms at all. I just think if you're going to do it, you've got to be prepared to put in the work, because it's not, basically it's a job in itself. It's a subscription service, and they're subscribing to you as a person, basically, so you've got to give back. You can't just expect people to give you money for a Patreon for nothing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even some of these people where he gets a shout out in a video or a name in a video, I think, like, come on, you still have to do more than that. At least give these people interaction, like you say, even a private live stream or anything, just so they feel like they're getting something out of it, you know what I mean?
I have to say, I've never even bothered to look to see what I would get for Patreon for any channel, you know. It's just not something I'm interested in sponsoring somebody else. I have enough money. I have enough trouble sponsoring myself. You know?
Like, funny enough, the actual word sponsor and all that's a different word to Patreon. Sponsor, that takes up my last one of making money, and through Streamlabs, and Streamlabs is basically more for live streaming and stuff like that. And when you say sponsor, because when you live stream, YouTube has its own live stream service and all, and you can super chat people when they talk, which basically means your message gets highlighted at the top of the chat so everyone sees it and it stays there for 10 seconds or however long. The more money you pay, the longer it stays up. And also they do a sponsorship program, and I actually sponsor a YouTuber called Rick, That Ball Gamer. He's called That Ball Gamer, and I think he's fantastic. And I'll pay him £5 a month. It's just a subscription service, like it's basically a sponsoring. That's what it's called, sponsoring. And like saying, I think he has like 25 to nearly 30 sponsors now. And as it builds up, it's a good little pot to get going. You know what I mean? And if you get that going, that's another way of making money if you're a live streamer. And like you're saying, but I think he's that good, and I've felt my need. I've watched him a few times. I thought, you know what, I really like this guy. I want to try and support him somehow, and I did that. And it's a bit like the Patreon, but it's just a different way of doing it. And for that, I get perks. I get little emojis when I'm in his live chat, so I stand out, and my name's highlighted in the chat compared to everyone else. And it's good. I like it. It makes me feel a bit more, I don't know, maybe a bit more special. I'm in the live chat and that and stuff, and it's just a good little. I think it's a good way to do. But then you also have Streamlabs for when you don't for when you're live streaming, and Streamlabs does. You can just donate, basically just PayPal people money when you're live streaming. And like you're saying, and the way I say that is like, and I'm saying I've had it myself. I've had a good chunk of money from when I do live streams. And the way I say that is, if you're walking down the street and you see someone busking in the street playing a guitar, and you stand there and you listen to him play the song, and when he's finished, you go and chuck £1 in the hat. That's exactly like Streamlabs for me. If I'm sat playing a game, and if people's enjoying themselves and they do something good, they'll just go click on the button and they'll just donate you a couple of £. And there's nothing wrong at all with that at all, I don't think.
Like I say,
again, I've donated to a couple of streamers. There's one called Scouse Mouse. I've donated them probably 10 to 15, maybe even £20 anyway over the course of the last few months. Just give him a couple of quid here and there, just because I think he's a great streamer. People donate to me before, and I've passed it back and donated to other streamers.
Well, that's the thing. It's not my type of thing, like. I'm not into giving money.
You're not really into live streams and stuff like that, are you? But yet again, I do stream and I do enjoy watching live streams.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I put live streams on when I'm playing the game myself, so I don't pay a great lot of attention, you know.
Yeah.
Just something in the background while I'm playing my game, and depends how engrossed I am in my TV screen, how much I watch the little phone screen and interact. If I hear my name mentioned every now and then, I might have a look, see what's being said in the chat or something. But that's about my involvement in that type of thing. But even if I was, I couldn't see myself giving money away anyway. Just, I don't know. I just don't do it. I'm not tight or stingy or no like that. I don't know. Bit weird. It's like I don't like spending online money, I suppose. Yeah. I'd rather spend money.
I really don't mind doing it. I mean, I do actually. I sponsor one Australian live streamer. I've donated to one, and I'm actually keep thinking there's a YouTuber I really like, and I keep thinking I'll join this Patreon. I just never got around to it yet. I need to make sure. And I don't know. I just like supporting other people who I enjoy to watch. So why could I not do that myself and let people support like us? Obviously, I don't feel like I said, I don't think we have the consistency enough to do it. But that's the only reason, not because I think it's wrong. Like
to be fair, I don't necessarily think if you have a Patreon, I don't think you should have to give extras out, you know. As long as people know that they're just going to pay you for what you're doing already. You know? I don't think that's a necessity.
Yeah, I suppose so. You put your tiers in Patreon, what people can expect. So I suppose for the £1 one, you'll just get early posts. For the £5 one, I suppose as long as you put out there what you're willing to give back, then that's all you can expect. If you don't want to do live streams or nothing like that, if you're just putting them out there, it's people can read what they can get for how much they subscribe to you for, and that's what they get back.
I don't know.
I don't know, like saying the whole subject of all, I just seen a post in a Facebook group, and in fact I think the person you're probably watching this because I did actually leave a comment, and he actually did, oh, Chris from Retroheads, I love you and Gav's cracking stuff like that, and can't believe you think this way, and I'm like, well, I hope he's kind of watching everything we've said, and that's how I feel about it, and that's why I don't think there's no problem at all whatsoever with any way of making money on YouTube.
No, I think a lot of people still sort of think of it, I don't know, like as a hobby. You know, it is a hobby, yes, but you have to admit, it's a lot of people's careers as well now as well. Sort of like the bigger channels, a lot of people give up work, and still people are giving up work to do this full time.
Yeah.
And for that type of stuff, they actually do need all these different methods of getting money in, like the sponsors, the Patreon, the ad revenue. They do need all of that just to get by, to make ends meet, so they can have all the time to put the videos out and everything, and edit and record and all that. It is labour intensive. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, well, of course, if you want to do it full time, you have to. Anyway, it's a necessity. You can't do it any other way.
Yeah.
But even if you're just a hobbyist, why not have this money?
About that well, though.
What's that?
What we said. I say people seem to gripe about that as well, though. Like even bigger people doing it, especially where they go from a small channel to being a big channel. That seems to annoy a few people.
When
for
you
some
explode
reason.
overnight, wow, he's changed. He was never like
yeah,
that.
but like I don't quite get it. Like, good luck to them.
I think a lot of the time that's just jealousy. I really do think a lot of time that's just jealousy when people say stuff like that.
I don't know. People probably do change, as long as they're not or arrogant or anything like nasty about
and the thing
to the smaller, you know, because you do get smaller, like people. Oh, you've only got 600 subs.
Yeah.
What would I want to talk to you for? He's got 10,000. I'll go mooch over next to him or something. There are people like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any person.
Maybe not that way, but I suppose you do have to change the way you're thinking. If you do grow from like a few hundred into 1,000 into 10,000, and then you had 50,000, you will have to change your way of thinking, because it will become very more business like. Once you start making a bit more money, I suppose you'd have to start making decisions of what you want to do and how you want to go forward. So I suppose you have to change in a sense if you do start growing. You can't just, I know it's like...
Yeah, your content, not your personality though.
No, not your personality, no.
Not your friends or nothing like that. I mean, doesn't matter even if you haven't got any YouTube channel or whatever, you know, I just don't think you're better than someone because you've got more subs than them. I mean, I'm not saying I know. I don't. I think the YouTube friends we've got, everyone we know from YouTube, they're all spot on.
Sweet, yeah. Couldn't have asked for a better bunch of people I know, to be honest.
Oh no.
Everyone I've met's been great. I don't know.
Anything else you want?
No.
You just wanted to have that little rant, did you?
I just wanted to get that great.
I love Patreon.
You what, Gav?
I say you just wanted that little rant, did you? I love Patreon.
Basically, this is just to let you all know that I'm going to be setting up a Patreon. For the Zelda clip.
Yeah. I hate that guy.
No, but like you said, if we ever were more consistent, because I don't think it is about size or anything. Like you're saying, you could have the most, even if you had 1,000 subs, you could have the most loyalist 1,000 subs, and each one of them could join your own Patreon. And if you had 10,000, if you don't interact with these people, I think the way to growth is interaction and just be yourself, basically, and whatever. And
yeah.
And like you're saying, it is just fun. Do it for fun. If you end up making a lot of money, well, good for you. If you end up making that much money, you can do it full time, even better. Yes, everyone starts as a hobby. No one. There might be the odd people, but I don't think anyone ever starts YouTube as a career. Everyone always starts off as a hobby, as just something to do, to find new friends, to hang out, to show your interest. I'm going to try and make this video. Then, yeah, things just grow and escalate, and from then on, people decide, well, you know what, I like doing this, maybe I can do it full time. and you've got to take that step. You know what I mean? So why not start to make money? How do you think these people?
Well, I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people might start because everyone watches YouTube. It's a phenomenon, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it's taken off telly in a lot of households. So I kind of think a lot of people start doing YouTube videos just because if you see something you like, why not try it yourself?
Yeah.
You know.
Don't get us wrong. You might get the young'uns trying to do it as a career because it's something good. But if you're getting anyone over the age of 30, we're just doing this for a hobby. We're just doing it because for the love of gaming. And then
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I suppose you might get some young'uns who's leaving school or whatever, and they could be good at gaming. They may be playing that. And you think, you know what? I'll maybe give it a try, give it a go, become a streamer. You know what I mean? But I think it is anyone over the age of 25 to 30. We're just doing it as a hobby. You know what I mean? And if it grows and you make it full time, why not? But to do that, you've got to start making money. You've got to set up a Patreon. You've got to start doing ads. You've got to get donations. And once you start making enough, then you make that conscious decision. Let's push this. Let's do this full time.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just going on and repeating the same thing anyway, Gav.
Yeah. I was going to say that's where all the money comes from, though, isn't it? That's why they have to do it.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be great.
So
it would be if you make money because it just sustain, like, it just keep your hobby moving forward. We have forever done it as a hobby, and if you'd ever make any money, buy a new Zelda game. You know what I mean? Why not? If it's a hobby, you use your hobby to fund your hobby. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. So I said earlier, you just copying me now.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you. Knock the video off. You bore me now, Chris.
Well, thanks for all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that long ramble. Yeah. If you would like to donate, I shall set up a link down below if you want to give us some money. Or just do what Kev did, you know what I mean? Just give us a box of games, we'll unwrap them, that'll do.
That was awesome, that one.
Yeah, we need another one, Kev. I mean, it's not quite money, we'll have games, so if you can't afford to send us money, just give us your old games. Right.
No Zelda. We've got enough Zelda.
There's never enough Zelda, Kev. Right, well, I shall see you all in the next video.